Hello students, welcome to another session of paper 204, that is environmental education, and I'll take up a topic from unit 5, and the topic for discussion is a field report. So what is a field report? A field report is a documentation of observations and analysis of particular phenomena, behaviors, processes, and more. Field reports are generally taken up or considered in the teaching of various subjects or disciplines where it is considered important to build a bridge of relevancy between the theoretical concepts taught and learned in the classroom and the practice of actually doing the work you are being taught to do. Field reports are common in certain subjects like geology, environmental science, geography, education, sociology, anthropology, social work, etc. Now, teachers often assign students the task to prepare a field report in order to improve and enhance students' understanding of key theoretical concepts by applying methods of careful and structured observation and reflection about people, places, or phenomena existing in their natural settings. Field reports facilitate the development of data collection techniques and observation skills, and they also help students or researchers to understand how theory applies to real world situations. Field reports also provide students and researchers in particular an opportunity to obtain evidence through methods of observing professional practice that contribute to or challenge existing theories. So, in simple terms, field reports are used to combine theory and practice, and they usually involve observation and analysis. In the teaching of environmental education, a field report as an evaluation tool may be used after students are being taken out on a field trip. In such cases, it is important for teachers and students alike to be aware of the procedure of writing a field report. Therefore, students must avoid the most common error when writing field reports, that is, of presenting only the description without any analysis of what has been observed in the field trip. So, when reporting a field trip or while writing a field report, three important heads of content should be included. So the heads may include, first of all, the introduction, then the field observation with analysis, followed by a conclusion. Now I'm going to explain about the necessary points to be kept in mind while writing a field report. So when writing a field report, students need to take care of the following. Firstly, it is important to describe the situation systematically. As we all know, the reader of the report has not witnessed the situation, and people or events that as a writer one is discussing, thus their only knowledge of it will come from the description as given by the report. Therefore, enough information is required to place the analysis that will follow into the form of a context. As a reporter or a field report writer, one should avoid making a mistake of only including the description. Alright, that means to only describe what has been observed. Therefore, when writing a field report, one is to systematically record in detail the varying aspects of a situation. In many respects, the description components of a report should address the 5 W's. Okay, so we shall now see what are the 5 W's that I am referring to. The first W stands for what. So under the what caption, as a reporter, one should describe what one has observed. One should note what boundaries, the observer has imposed to limit the observations being made. And also, what are the general impressions of the situation that has been observed. Okay, so the second W stands for where. So under the where caption, the reporter has to describe the background that sets the scene or context of the observation. Now, the third W stands for when. So in this regard, the reporter should record factual data about the day and time of observation. It may also be appropriate to include background information or events which impact upon the situation that the observer or the reporter is observing. Further, the fourth W stands for who. In this aspect, the reporter should note the participants in the situation. Who are they in terms of age, sex, ethnicity, and any other variable or information relevant to the observation. Finally, the fifth W stands for why. Here, the reporter should describe why a particular situation is selected for the particular observation. Okay, so after describing the 5 W's, let us move on to the second important point to be considered while writing a field report. In this step, it is important to provide an evaluation of what one has observed and let the reader know how the recorded events and observations are related to theoretical concepts and also principles. The theoretical framework guiding the field trip should determine what, when, and how. As an observer, you observe and act as the foundation from which you interpret your findings in relation to the underlying concepts embedded in the theoretical background. Now, the third point is that field reports usually do not have a fixed format. Okay, so there is no fixed format of writing a field report. So depending upon the need and content, you can design the format for writing the field report. However, one may choose to have separate sections for the description and analysis part of the report. So which means that description and analysis portion should always be included in the field reports. Now, moving on, let me discuss a little bit on the significance of field reports. Field reports are used as evaluation tools, usually with an intention of improving students' understanding of key theoretical concepts of a course content taught through observation and reflection of real life experience and practice. In addition, field reports facilitate the development of data collection and observation skills, as I had mentioned earlier. And it also allows students to see how theory is related to real world experiences and practice. As subject teachers, we should remember that the purpose of asking students to write and submit field reports is to enrich their observation and reporting skills, and as such, students are being evaluated on how they describe and analyze an observed person, place, event, or phenomenon. Further, the need of writing a field report will therefore encourage students to systematically observe and accurately record in detail the varying aspects of a situation that is being observed. Again, writing field reports will also encourage students to constantly analyze one's observation for meaning in the course of the field trip. That is, what's going on here? What does this mean? What else does this relate to? Are some of the key questions that a reporter has to ask oneself while doing the observation. Again, the need to write field reports will also help students to keep the report's aim in mind while observing situations and in the course of analysis. Keeping this in mind, students may enter the observation sites with a clear plan about what they intend to observe and record in relation to the stated objectives. Okay, so at the same time, students are being prepared to adapt to the changing circumstances as they may arise, because it may happen that what they intend to observe may not be available at the site that they have chosen for the observation. Finally, on realizing the need for submitting field reports, students will be encouraged to consciously observe, record, and analyze what one hear and see in the context of a theoretical framework. This is what separates data gathering from reporting. Okay, so it is different to just collect data or to gather data and to report about the event or the situation. The theoretical framework guiding the objective of the field trip or study should determine what, when, and how you observe. And this will act as the foundation from which, as a reporter, one will interpret the findings in relation to the underlying assumptions embedded in the theoretical framework. So to conclude, a field report may be considered as a culminating activity or the last portion of the activity of a field trip. Writing of field reports actually gives students an opportunity to apply the content knowledge they gain during the field trip and link the same with theoretical concepts and principles learned in the classroom. So, with this brief description, I hope you've all understood about the concept of a field report and how to teach students to write a field report. Thank you, and please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you once again.